Now, today's lecture number 2 is about balanced chemical equation, how to make it more informative. First of all, we can mention the physical states. You can know this by examples. See, iron is in solid state. It reacts with copper sulfate aqueous form to form copper. Iron replaces copper, forming FeSO4, and copper is thrown out. Now, mentioning aqueous over here is very important because this copper sulfate is blue in color, and with water it forms a blue solution. This blue solution reacts with grey iron and forms a reddish brown copper, and the solution changes after some time, nearly 20 minutes, from blue to pale green. So we also mention the color sometimes in equations. Now look at the second example. We have already seen this. This one is already balanced. This second equation we had balanced in the last class, if you remember. Now this balanced equation, we are adding more information to it by mentioning solid state in bracket S, gaseous state in bracket G. Gaseous state, you can mention it as G or arrow up. Solid state S, liquid state L. Similarly, aqueous state AQ. Sometimes a solid may not be soluble in the given solvent or water. We call that as precipitate, and for that we use the symbol arrow down. It settles down in the liquid. So these are some of the short forms for mentioning the physical states. Second point is, we can mention plus triangle, that is plus heat on the product side for an exothermic reaction. An exothermic reaction is the reaction in which heat is given out. The example is, see here, carbon. Carbon is present in coal. When you burn coal, in presence of oxygen gas in air, it produces CO2 gas and gives out a lot of heat, which is used for domestic activities and in industries, you know that. And we mentioned that same heat plus triangle or plus heat on the reactant side for an endothermic reaction, a reaction which can never start unless until you supply a given amount of heat. For example, nitrogen gas and oxygen gas combine together to form NO, nitric oxide, only when you give a desired amount of heat. Plus triangle, see here, is on the reactant side. After the reaction, if you are performing the reaction in a particular container, the container becomes cold. Sometimes we also mention conditions which are necessary for a reaction to occur on the top of the arrow. Conditions which are necessary for a reaction to occur on the top of the arrow. For example, temperature, pressure and catalyst. The name of the catalyst is mentioned. As you can see in this reaction, the first one, KClO3, the name of this compound is potassium chlorate. When you heat it, you have to heat it. It gives potassium chloride and oxygen gas. This reaction is the lab preparation of O2 gas. This reaction will never occur unless until you use the catalyst MnO2, manganese dioxide. Similarly, see the next one, nitrogen gas, arrow up, hydrogen gas, both of them combine to form ammonia under these conditions. We have mentioned the temperature 450 to 500 degrees centigrade. We have also mentioned the pressure 200 atm. Atm is the unit of pressure, it means atmosphere. Okay, atm is atmosphere, unit of pressure, and iron or molybdenum, M capital O small is the symbol of molybdenum, are used as catalyst. This is the reaction. It is very helpful in industries. It is known by the name Haber's process. Advantages of writing a balanced chemical equation. First of all, it saves time and space, about which I have already told you in lecture 1. Uniformity worldwide. All the students and scientists throughout the globe they know a particular element or a particular compound by its symbol and formula, irrespective of the place where he is studying or where he is working as a scientist. Third point is, to prepare any amount of product, required amount of reactant can be calculated. Now this needs an explanation. I told you in the last point that to know how much is the product formed, we can decide the amount of reactant required. See, you have already read in mole concept that if after balancing, here there is no number, means it is 1 mole. Here also no number, it is 1 mole. 1 is understood. Here it is 2, so this is 2 moles. So 1 mole of hydrogen gas reacts with 1 mole of chlorine gas to produce 2 moles of HCl. This concept helps you to understand what is the product, how many moles of product are formed from how many moles of reactant. You will read this in detail in higher classes. Now this covers up the previous topic, that is advantages of a balanced chemical equation. Lastly, what are the characteristics? Characteristics of balanced chemical equation, BCE, balanced chemical equation. Just now you saw that H2 is 1 mole, chlorine is 1 mole. Now 1 mole of hydrogen gas, you know H atom, its gram atomic mass is 1 gram. So H2 molecule, its gram molecular mass will be 1 plus 1, 2 gram. Similarly, you can calculate for others. Here the mass will be 2 grams. Here the mass is 35.5 into 2, 71 grams. And here it is 2 in bracket H is 1, so 1 gram plus 35.5 gram. If you total it, it is 2 into 36.5, that is 73 grams. Here if you total 2 and 71, it is 73 gram. You can see that the mass of the reactants is equal to the mass of product. This is mass of reactant and this is mass of product. Recall, last year I taught you, when mass of reactants is equal to the mass of product, it obeys the law of conservation of mass. All chemical reactions, they obey the law of conservation of mass. This is one characteristic. This characteristic can also be understood in the form of atoms. See hydrogen, there are 2 atoms of H. Now in your chlorine, Cl, let us take it a little bigger one. You all know hydrogen is the smallest atom. Chlorine, again 2 atoms. Now these atoms you can understand like this. They are joined together by a bond. This bond is called covalent bond. You will read in the chapter carbon and its compounds. These old bonds, they break and new bonds form between this H and this Cl, and similarly between this H and this Cl. And once the old bonds break and new bonds form, see here, this hydrogen, they break. Similarly chlorine atoms, they break and join to H. And you see, 1 molecule of H2, 1 molecule of Cl2, they break their bonds and form 2 new bonds and 2 new molecules of HCl. This is another method of understanding law of conservation of mass, in which the number of atoms remain conserved. Once a number of atom is conserved, means matter is conserved, and that is law of conservation of mass.